Only taken 3 months, 2 months.
3 months.
I don't really know.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, we
but I'm
filmed
so
a couple
excited to be here.
before, but it was like off the cuff. Now we
It was
have been a
off the
little bit
cuff,
more
yeah.
organized.
But I have Roku City playing in the background. I have my lights in it, so I look pretty good. You have an olive tree, and I think that perfectly assimilates what we are as a person.
An olive and a
And
tree.
Roku City. Look, you can see Godzilla in the background. Look at him.
So dope. What's up,
And
buddy?
so, dude, I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm been busy. Been busy, man.
Yeah, I lied. I've been really busy.
But you can be good and busy.
I guess. Yeah, you can be happy it's good and busy, or you can be sad that it's busy. I think
Yeah.
I'm in the middle where it's like there's certain things I want to do that, but I just can't because of just like time management or just like what you call it. You know how stress is kind of like invoked when you can't do the things you want to do, not because you have to do the things you want to do. That's kind of like
Yeah.
that situation I'm in, where it's like I'm not ecstatic. I can't get to the things I want to do, so I'm just like getting stressed. But actually doing the stuff I want to do, oh, chilling.
Wait, I'm a bit confused. So you're doing
Oh yeah.
things that you don't want to do right now and stressing because you can't do the things you want to do?
So how do I say this? Stress doesn't, at least in my opinion, right? Stress doesn't come from the things that we have to do, right? It comes from the things that we want to do but can't, right? So like
So like thinking about the future, thinking like I don't want to be here right now. I wish I was doing something else.
yeah, and it's that type of stress where it's like, oh, I want to be doing something else, but you're not in the position to do it at the moment, and that just like that stresses me out, if anything.
Does it?
I don't know. I think I went on a huge tangent. How are you doing?
I think that's good, man. Yeah, no, I totally get what you're saying. I totally. Give me a second. I'm gonna close my door.
Okay, God, audience, you look beautiful right now.
Yeah, my wife is going to a theater show tonight, and my dog gets sad when one of us leaves. So he'll
Was
come
that
in here
Mozzie?
and tear up the place. I am doing good. I've been very busy. Moved to Pensacola, Florida, obviously a month and a half ago, and my niece is in town, so just doing that, working, and trying to be in the present moment as often as I can when things are so busy.
Yeah, tell the
So
people
yeah,
what you do for work. Tell the people what you do.
I'm a belly dancer.
And he's not lying, fellas. He does throw it back.
I do, and I throw it forward and to the side.
Have some. We're live right now.
Yeah, welcome to Mindful Guys. My name is Tony, and across the country is my buddy Alex.
Hi, hi. I'm the one that's less spiritual, more rooted on facts and pure opinion.
Yeah,
Well, he does have all the science, all the fancy lingo that goes with mental health. I'm kind of just here along for the ride, hopefully providing some type of relief from the real world.
yeah, you definitely have a lot of the facts and stuff, but your natural like mode is turning to comedy and laughter, which
I
I
think that's just
love.
a coping mechanism. I don't
Oh,
really
for
know.
sure, for sure.
No,
Yeah, definitely.
no, 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 no. You get it all
Mine's
wrong, buddy.
like secluding myself and meditating and going inward to try to
Yeah,
figure it out.
I really don't get how you secluded yourself for 3 years without a TV just to change yourself. I need the TV to change. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how you did that.
I don't know how I did that. I'm thinking about doing it again. I'm thinking
Eh,
about automating some things for Instagram, getting off all social media, stop watching TV again, and just like self develop and spiritually develop. I'm really thinking about it.
Yeah, I know. To me, that's like the hardest thing to do is I don't know how I could go about life without like Look, I can't. There's no Roku City with no TV. I can't continue. So like I don't know how you did do that and how you would continue to do that, with like a wife, your social media outreach and whatnot.
Yeah, I don't know. We're all into what we're into, right? I'm into like deepening my awareness and knowledge to be the best version of myself. So, Like I'm
Yeah,
just like how people are, fascinated about art or love guitar or singing or can play video games. For me, it's like this deep sense of awareness. And along the way, I get little wins and goals and achievements when I unlock myself a little bit more.
yeah. Honestly, that is probably the way to do it. I kind of just uh, go with the flow, which I probably should think more before I do something, but I'm just like super like motivated by pure adrenaline. Now that's why like I try to go to the gym every day is because it keeps like the sense of normalcy. And so like to me that's like kind of like my therapy is like physically attributing myself, but I do that so much I kind of forget about my mental load. And so like I
Mm.
find that I'm just uh I'm just here now.
See, that was my therapy for a long time, going to the gym. It was actually my escape. So, like that's when I'd throw on the headphones and some hardcore music and just like all the anger, all the frustration I had, all the things in my life that were happening that I didn't want happening. Is I went to the gym and I got big, not as probably not as strong as you, but I got jacked and yeah, Alex over there, he's one hell of a man.
No. No. No.
Oh,
You know, I weigh
you're
like
jacked for sure.
I weigh 40 more pounds than you, dog. Like, I see when you get this big, you wish you were small, but when you're that small, you wish you were big. There's no happy medium. You'll always be
No,
sad.
I've been big and I've been smaller, and I think now where I'm at is flexibility and mobility. So,
I
like
think
just
that's good for you because you have your tweaked back right now, right?
yeah,
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 little
the old
tweaked
back,
back. Yeah,
the old
yeah,
back. But
bad, bad.
what is this episode about? Mindfulness. What
Oh,
is
you were asking
mindfulness?
me, dude? I came here for a therapy session, and here you are
I
babbling.
ain't no therapist, big dog. I'll tell you what you need to do. Yeah, so what is mindfulness? You want me to answer that?
Please, for the
S-
audience.
Yeah, so mindfulness is the ability to become aware of what's happening in the moment. The result of mindfulness is getting off autopilot, getting off default mode, getting a bird's eye view or a helicopter view of our life so that we can be more aware, more present. It brings a sense of calm. It also can help you understand blind spots in your life or be more connected with Earth and the universe and other people rather than responding in a habitual way every day and ultimately not truly living life.
Ultimately, thinking before you do something. Really thinking about your surroundings, who you affect, and what you do every single day. I think I think I could attest to this, whenever we hear some type of news or whenever we're receiving information, we kind of just go based off emotion, right? Like a lot of the times it's hard to think about the things we say or do before that. So if you constantly put yourself in that mindfulness state where you just think and you feel your emotions, you feel your surroundings, you'll probably make the best choice possible.
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes it's not even quite thinking because I know for me, my old programming was like to overthink, overanalyze, right? Something happens to me or something I did, like I think back and how can I do it different and all these things. And at first I thought it was serving me, but um, it's the way I look at mindfulness is really like being more in the present moment and feeling. So often we try to focus on our thoughts with the situation that's going on, where a lot of times it just needs to be felt, right? So that's me though. Like my breath, I use my breath to anchor me in the present moment, and that's my like reminder to be mindful.
My reminder to being mindful is I've been through some bad stuff and whatever I'm going through right now is not as bad as what I went through before. And so that's kind of like how I go about it whenever it's like, a problem arises, I have to think quick on the spot or like I have to dig deep within myself to find a solution is I have to remind myself like I've been through worse. So whatever I'm handling right now, I'm sure I can handle to the best of my abilities, you know.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
I know Tony just got a new mic and he's loving it.
yeah, I'm choking it down. Probably so loud. May have to cut that out.
No, 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 they'll be fine.
Do you do you have any like experiences where you have either practiced or fell into this place of like being present, being mindful? Like when you are working all the time and then you go on vacation, how like you're just more aware of everything around you?
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, I can say about like a week or two ago, if you've never tried this before, try it. Let's say you're driving home alone one night, you park in front of your garage or wherever you are, right? You stop, you're parked, you turn off the car. In your car is absolute silence. It is like a little silent chamber you can stay in, and you can just literally feel what's around you, right? You make like any slight movement, right? It's you. There's nothing else in the area in that little cube that like affects anything. It's just you, right? So like I remember I was just sitting out in the parking lot and I was like something was boggling my mind, right? I think it was about like YouTube and like how I want to pursue it and stuff like that. And like I'm a big overthinker, and so that was like one of the first times where like I noticed that my car is the perfect silent experience, right? Like literally, it was like just coming home from the gym, right? And so like I'm depleted, got no more energy to think, to overthink even. I'm just like dead in the car, and I just noticed that like, oh shoot, like it's just me and myself right now. There's nothing that can bother me. And then so I closed my eyes and I just envisioned myself in a better place tomorrow.
Oh.
And yeah, the next day was pretty good. I did a whole bunch of stuff where,
So
where it
you
was
did
YouTube
a
related. I uploaded like a whole like Quest chip protein review thing, which I was like it was really weird when I set my mind to something in that small little spot. I was able to only focus on that the entire day the next day. Like I did not want to do anything else. I even like made it like a priority to do it. I think a lot of the times when we say we're going to do something and we want to do it, it doesn't become number 1 for some reason. It becomes like 4 or 5. Like other things have to take. Yeah, you got to eat, you got to spend time with your partner, but outside of that, that should be like your next important thing you want to do. Not like, "Oh, I'm just going to sit down like play video games," or like, "Oh, I'm just gonna, you know, do nothing, kind of rot here." It's like if you do want to do it, like you make that a priority. And I think that's something I found after sitting in my car desolately.
I love that. So you went from like I have to do all this stuff to I want to.
Yeah, yeah, I did because there's a lot of times where I'm like, "Oh, what if it doesn't work?" But what if it does? What if it does? That makes me want to do it. What if it does? What if not it means I have to? Like, do you know what I mean? Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
absolutely. No, yeah, it definitely does. And that silence gave you the ability to like just focus on that and just be mindful of certain thoughts and whether they were serving you or not. Is that what?
Yeah, and I think it's also like environment. Like we're most of the time we're like in a crowded place, right? Which is why I understand when you say like, "Oh, like I had to seclude myself for 3 years to really like make a huge change." Yeah, I can see that because with all the stuff we're flooded with every single day, I can see the idea. I was like, I just need to be with myself, and that's not a bad thing at all, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes a lot of sense why you would too, because just the little moment I had in the car, I was able to think so clearly. Like I wasn't flooded with anybody else's thoughts. It was just like me. It was pretty nice.
Yeah, I love that. That's why I like mindfulness. Well, meditation mainly, because it sounds like you were able to kind of visualize the next day a little bit before it happened and your actions followed the fact that you've already rehearsed it in your mind once.
Yeah, what's that thing you say? It's like oh, like I can't meditate, which is like exactly why you need to.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it just shows that someone's on autopilot and they're being controlled by their past experiences of life. Like they don't have free will right now. They
Hmm.
have chains. They're walking around with chains.
Did you have a hard time like when you said like I'm gonna meditate for the first time ever? Like did you have a hard time?
That's a great question. So the first time I remember actually meditating, I was in a beach in Hawaii. It was serene. My mom was in the hospital. She was still alive, but she was sick. And I climbed up on a rock and I was like, oh, I always looked at meditation as like really cool, but something that seems really difficult to do, you know? And I was like, let me give it a try. And I just sat there and like the beginning of meditation is being mindful. It's being able to just become aware of one of your senses is a great way to practice. And so I just started taking deep breaths and I was like, my gosh, I can feel my lungs expand and collapse as I breathe. Like I can really feel the muscles around my nose and my lip moving that maybe I never noticed before. And then I just started hearing the beach and just breathing. And that was the first time I ever did it. And back to your question, was it easy in that moment? I think so. Mindfulness is like the precursor to meditation. It's being able to have control of your life throughout the day, throughout your life, pay attention to the details, really embrace that. Like how often do we, eat really fast or we're eating and we're thinking about the next thing? You're not being very mindful, right? Like you're doing 2 or 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 things at once. Mindfulness is doing one thing and that's it at a time.
You don't get this big by eating slow. I'll tell you that much.
Nom, 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 nom.
Yeah,
So
dude. I mean,
meditation is much easier now that I've practiced it a lot. I love it. It's like taking a mental shower, man, an emotional shower.
yeah, I definitely have like a lot of like exactly. That's why I should keep trying, right? Um, it's very hard for me to. I think I should just set like a reminder on my phone. It's like, oh, you should meditate from like 3 to 4 because that's when you are home and you're just like chilling or planning on something. Like set like 10 minutes aside to just like clear your mind. Because like imagine like what from the time you wake up to the time you get home from work, so much things have happened that you're not even thinking about yourself at that point sometimes,
Hmm.
or you are, but like you're thinking like, oh, I just had like such a stressful day. I'm gonna just, you know, do my normal routine, whatever that is, whether you think that's negative or positive, right? If you made it like negative, it's most likely just sitting on TikTok and brain rotting.
Yeah. I would do it when you get home and just sit in the car since that worked really well for you.
Yeah, I've been doing that after the gym usually. Just like sitting in the car, just for like 2 minutes, like, okay, what am I gonna do tomorrow? And I've been doing that ever since I realized it, and I've felt a lot of mental clarity. But you know what I've realized is like, let's say I have a plan for the day and something unexpected comes up, like, oh, it gets me like so on edge that I can't like because you have this huge plan that like, okay, I'm gonna do this tomorrow from this time frame to this time frame, and I have it on my calendar, I'm gonna do it, and then something pops up, right? And it's something that is necessary that you do have to go do, like whether it's like your family member asking for a favor because they can't do it without you, or something work related, you have to stay at work a little bit later. It's like some stuff is like you have to do, and then it kind of puts a dent in your plans.
Yeah. Yeah, work is a big one. My part back to the reason like why I secluded myself for 3 years, took the TV out of my house. I was building a business, doing it at the same time, and this is where I learned it. But I learned that like everything is programming. Every TV show we watch, every commercial, every song, every person we interact with. And I started looking at everything around my life, doing a life audit basically. And I was like, what is this person thinking? Are they complaining all the time? Are they being really happy all the time? Are they looking at the glass half empty, half full? What am I learning? What's that programming from social media or from TV or from music? And I was like, a lot of it isn't the person I want to be, right? And so I didn't have the discipline to keep that app on my phone without looking at it. I didn't have the discipline to turn on the TV at night when I wanted a TV show. I didn't have the discipline to not listen to certain music. And so I deleted all those apps. I set specific times when I was on my phone and I didn't check my phone unless it was between those times. And at first, like, a lot of my friends, a lot of people were like, "Oh, you're not coming to the bar with us. You're not doing this. Like, how come, I text you 3 times and you didn't respond for 4 hours?" At first, it was like that because they're not used to my boundaries. But after a week, 90% of my friends stopped talking to me. 95% of them. Like, they weren't really my friends. They weren't this deep relationship. It was like this mirror. I was just copying what their behavior was. And the reason why we were close was because we had similar interests: drinking, cussing, listening to bad music,
Getting in
whatever it may
fights.
be. Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. So it's like I did a life audit. I think I just got sick and tired of being depressed and sad and hating my life. Like, it was that, but I had too much compassion for other people. And I know that taking my life would hurt them. So I just made a change, man.
That's good. That's real good. I know that's I know a lot of people that are like stuck in these like toxic loops with like friendships and stuff like that, where it's like, oh, let's go to a rave, and like if you don't go to the rave, then you're not, part of the group, and it's like, oh, so is your group only built on going to the rave, like not doing anything else? Like, can we just hang for a bit, or like, I don't know, not to go clubbing, not to go to the rave, or it's like, is that if that's only your personality and you want it to be that way, cool, right? But if you don't appreciate what I can bring to the table by just being myself, then that would, I don't, yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's just different. Nothing against anybody. Like, everyone knows themselves more than someone else. We're with ourselves all the time. Whether we're honest about it or not is a different topic. But I look at it as like, some people stop at getting a high school diploma. Some people stop at getting a bachelor's or a master's. I didn't just want a doctorates. I wanted 2 doctorates, 3 doctorates. I want enlightenment. I want complete freedom in all areas of my life.
Hmm.
And so when people leave high school, graduate high school and go to college, a lot of the times they stop hanging out with a lot of those people and they start hanging out with a new group. Same exact thing. It's like I surround myself with people that push me and pull me up, help me be happier, help me be a better husband, help me be a better person, help me like see my blind spots and see areas that I can improve. Do you just hear my dog? Did you hear that?
I think, but I
Maybe
also
the
thought that
mic
was
picked
my
up.
surroundings.
No, that was Mahi.
Dang, he pissed. He's
He's
pissed.
pissed. Yeah.
My
That's
dog's
his claws on the floor.
sleeping.
But, but yeah, mindfulness. So we can get into the Reddit story here in a second. It's more of questions, but the best way to practice mindfulness is to become aware of the relationship with your breath and your body. That's really it. Like, slow down your breathing and become aware and like manual with your breath. It's one of the only things that is automatic and manual. So most of the day, our breathing goes unconscious. We don't pay attention to it. It just happens. Well, that means we're on default mode. We're on autopilot.
You just made like 99% of the audience breathe manually after
Yeah.
that. I'd be so pissed if I was listening to this and I was like,
Yeah. That's so funny. So there you go. That's mindfulness. What they just did is like being aware of your breath
yeah.
and just changing it up. And then after you start wanting to control your breath, eventually you'll just observe your breath.
Do you think that mindfulness can sometimes be uncomfortable?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So mindfulness is not the ability to be comfortable or not to be comfortable. It's to be aware of whether you're comfortable or not comfortable, right? But the freedom is through that. Once you become aware of something and you stop resisting it, you stop turning your back to yourself, like, then you can recognize, holy shit. Like, I've been telling myself I'm a bag of shit for so long. No wonders I feel like a bag of shit. But I was never mindful enough. I never slowed down enough. I never gave myself quality time
Hmm.
to notice that. But now I notice it. I can either choose to continue that action to stop or to navigate what barrier is preventing me from telling myself I love you and I'm worthy.
You speak so much wisdom.
Dude,
Do
all
you?
this I did with myself. I learned this
Yeah, yeah.
by,
I'm still. I am learning. I'm learning it too.
hmm
Do you have a Reddit story on you right now?
Yeah, yeah. Well, just like questions. So, sign. So, welcome to. I'll redo that. Welcome to the Reddit section. This is where we just are figuring it out, to be honest. Looking up
Yeah.
stories about the topic and kind of talking about it.
This is the pilot episode, so
Yes, it is.
next week I
So
will bring the questions.
nice. I love it. I can't wait to hear it. I can't wait to hear you talk a lot more than me.
I'm ready to speak. No, I've been talking a lot. What are
You
you
have
talking
been
about?
talking.
Yeah, I come up. I can feel you in this like entire podcast, bringing me back to
How do
the
I
entire
feel?
question, and so you feel great. Oh my god! All right, go for it. What's the first Reddit story? What we got?
Yeah. So
Who's
it's
confused
from
today?
the name, the tag, whatever it's called on Reddit, is sign of. Oh, okay. It's sign of the serpent. So that's who made this post. But mindfulness question. So is it safe? Is there anyone or any conditions that preclude using it safely, or for whom it is contradicted? I don't understand. That does this sentence make sense to you? Is it safe?
Is this
Is
safe to be mindful? I mean, yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
Right? Is
that's
that the main
my
question?
basically. So is it safe to be mindful? Is it okay to have music on in the background? I
Yeah.
enjoy ambient music, but is it a distraction to the practice? So how does one safely end a session of mindfulness, mindful meditation, bring oneself back to proper awareness? So there's a couple questions. One, is it safe? Two, can someone have music in the background? And three, if you're doing a mindful meditation, how do you bring yourself back?
I think the music in the background. Honestly, I kind of see mindfulness kind of like the flow state, where you kind of just get in the groove of yourself and you start thinking a lot. If music takes you there, then yeah, sure, I don't see why not. Perfectly, that's perfectly fine.
Yeah, you said it perfect. It's the flow state. So music is perfect. What you can do is close your eyes and shift your awareness to hearing. So you begin to hear the music, and at first your mind is going to tell you what the music is saying, if there's lyrics. But eventually, the more mindful you are, you can hear certain beats inside the music,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. If you like really start dialing into music and you start like I don't know if this ever happened to you, but I can like sync my heartbeat with the thump of a drum. It's crazy, bro.
Can you
Sometimes if it's like a nice steady beat, yeah. But like if it's like a fast paced song, like no, probably not.
have a heart attack? Have
Yeah,
a heart attack being
I'd probably
mindful?
die on the spot.
Yeah. So back to like what is mindfulness? Mindfulness is being aware of what's showing up. So if music is playing, being aware of that. If you're in a subway underneath New York, perfect.
If you're in Roku
Just
City,
if you're in Roku City, looking at all the details and the different shades of purple back there that I see.
mm. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
You think anybody's
and
gonna watch this and only look at the Roku City?
yeah, they're gonna be like, "I that dude with the snapback is
Hot.
fugly. We're gonna turn off
Shut your mouth.
that
Shut your mouth.
video."
What was the third thing? What was the third thing Serpent Man said? What they say?
So is it safe? Is mindfulness safe?
Yeah, I'd say
What's your
so.
thoughts?
I'd
Yeah.
say so.
Any
I'd say
reason why it wouldn't be safe?
if you feel like maybe the trauma you've endured in your life is too much to think all at once, I could see why you would think like, oh, maybe getting to that point would be too much for me. I think that's pretty serious, and I think at that point I would go seek therapy.
That's a yeah. Everyone's different. I
Yeah.
Meditation and mindfulness are different. Mindfulness is a part of meditation, but meditation doesn't have to be a part of mindfulness. And so in this question, they ask, is it safe? But then they ask how to like end a mindfulness meditation. So I wouldn't meditate while you're driving. I'd keep your eyes open.
But yeah,
But you know,
don't be mindful and drive.
well, you can be mindful. So yeah, just don't. I'm removing that meditation part. So mindfulness, and a lot of you guys that are listening, or women that are listening, look in front of you for a moment and like kind of pick a spot to look at, and then relax your eyes and notice with your peripheral vision what's in front of you. Now you're expanding your awareness. You're maybe noticing angles, trees, lights, whatever, the brightness and the darkness, the contrast in life. That's mindfulness. You can do that while you drive if you're careful. I'd be very careful doing that. Turn off the music and roll down the window and feel the air hitting your skin. That's a great way to be mindful. Just drive to work, turn off the music, and just be with yourself on the way to work. Notice what it feels like after 2 or 3 days of doing that. That's mindfulness.
And if being in the silence is like very uncomfortable for some people, I think the music does help too. But also like you said in the car, to me it feels like I can kind of dig deep with myself if I'm, I don't know, feeling the wind on my arm or I feel the wind in my hair. I know it sounds really really kind of stupid, but a feeling that just kind of brings me one with the earth, sorta, and I can think with myself.
Yeah, I love that. I don't think it's stupid at all. Like, why do we not do that? We're spinning on a ball in the middle of the universe. We don't know another planet that works, yet how often do we feel the breeze on our skin? How often do we feel the sun giving us life, right? Like you go past the atmosphere, you burn up in the sun and you freeze to death once the sun goes down. Yet on this planet, we get to experience darkness. We get to experience what it looks like and feels like to have the sun shining on us, but not too far away. We die. It's we take things for granted, and we focus on tomorrow instead of being in the present moment. And the biggest thing is you're never going to get this present moment again, ever.
Yeah, I know. I remember myself that too. Like every single day that passes, right? That day not coming back. But I shouldn't get too depressed because tomorrow coming too, so I could do stuff then too. But
Yeah,
yeah.
mindfulness isn't supposed to depress you.
Well, no, no, it's not supposed. Yeah, you're right. It's not supposed to depress you, but at the same time, right? Got to make the most of your days as you can, but also do relax. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. But a caveat, if
Uh,
you're going through something difficult and you're going to practice mindfulness, be aware that you will become more aware of the emotions that you're feeling, the weight that those emotions have on you, and how it affects your life. So that awareness comes with responsibility. Like you can't, you know, see something and not be responsible for that, just to let you know. So sometimes when people do practice mindfulness, like things can seem like they're more difficult or feel more difficult, but in all reality, they've been that way. We just haven't paid attention to it.
makes sense. Makes sense. Oh God, this is the next question. This complex?
No, that's, how does one safely end a session?
I don't know. I
Mindfulness
don't know.
meditation session?
I can barely start a session, dog.
Okay. Oh, we'll do some meditation on this podcast. Maybe not today, but yeah, the best way to do it is to bring awareness back to your physical body. So when you're ready to end, I always take a calm, deep breath again. And then I slowly wiggle my toes and I become mindful of the feeling of what it feels like to wiggle my toes, to actually like have muscles and tendons and um, the texture of my toes rubbing back together, or my fingertips, and doing that. And then I move my wrists, and then eventually, my awareness is back to my physical body. That's if you're meditating.
Okay. Okay. Hell yeah. Nice.
Science.
Nice.
Very
Nice.
nice.
Do,
Any,
do I
yeah,
have
any,
do I have any advice?
yeah.
Yeah, wiggling your toes is good, I guess. Rub your nipples. I don't know.
Ooh, I'm back.
Wow. That was great. I'm thinking now. Huh.
It's hilarious. Um, Anything else before we kind of move to the third section, mindful minute?
Uh, no, I think this is a pretty good way to introduce ourselves. We kind of got you kind of got a snippet of both of our personalities. I'm uh, I'm great. It's so hard to
Tell them a little bit
compliment.
about you. So like maybe how
Oh,
we met and how this came to be, and
oh.
the fact that you're a god.
Uh, the way we met is actually, it was at work, right? It was like your first day, gave you a handshake, thought nothing of it, right?
What did you
And
think
then
of me when you first saw me?
this guy is symmetrically attractive.
Is that what you thought?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I always, because like I don't know anything about you, so like I'm gonna start judging you based on like just like how you look. Like, oh, this guy's like symmetrically pretty. Yeah, that's nice, cool.
That's funny.
Right. And so then you were able to start working in my area, and so I was like, oh yeah, so what do you do, And then the thing that always caught me off guard is like, you're like, oh yeah, I do social media. I was like, dude, you've been like hella serious this entire time. What do you mean you do social media? And then so you're like, oh yeah, I have like 52,000 like followers on Instagram. I'm like, well, who the hell are you, dog? And why haven't I heard of you? And so then we started talking about it. We started, I really don't know how we got to the deep convo, right? I think we just started like when there was like downtime at work, we would just start talking and we would just start to get to know each other and stuff like that. And then I think where it started kicking off hella is when you actually quit that job and we started going climbing. And then that's when we started to get into like these deep talks of like, okay, what if we actually started like a podcast or like we did something, YouTube oriented or like Spotify or like, Apple Podcasts, just doing all that stuff. And now we're here. Now we're here in the pilot episode. It's kind of cool.
It is
Then
awesome.
you had to get up and leave. You had to get up and move across the
Yeah,
country.
yeah, we get real close, and then I move across the
Yeah.
country from
How
Vegas to
dare you?
Pensacola.
And you know what he told me? He said, I'm gonna feel better over there without me.
Well, my goal is to try to get you guys to move out here too. So I'll pay for your flights.
I don't
I
know.
have a vehicle you can use, a place to stay, warm food. I mean, we can go gamble. You can actually go home with some money. You know,
Can you control the weather, Jackie? That's all I'm asking.
we'll find out, man. We'll find out.
Oh,
We'll find out.
jeez. But so how are we gonna do mindful minute again? We're like, now that you have listened to the podcast, thank you for joining us. Um, since this whole thing is about mindfulness, let's take 1 minute. We'll mute our mics, and we will simply let you have 1 minute to think about the things you want to do for today or tomorrow if you're listening to this at midnight. So, mindful minute starting in 3, 2, 1, click. Minute done. I hope you have a plan now. All
Anything
right.
you notice being silent with yourself for a minute? Being mindful?
Uh, I just kept reminding myself that I'm happy. I am. I need
You
to
sound
stop.
happy.
I'm so happy. I can't wait to do this again next week. Talk to the audience, help them out, whatever. No, I am genuinely grateful for everything that I have. I mean, I think it's like I'm 23 years old, so and I find that every single day that I've lived, has been a blessing because I've gotten to this point, right? It always hasn't been good times, of course, right? But in that sense, I'm happy to be here regardless because it's so rare. It's such a small percentage of people that I can actually get born, you know? Like out of all the things you could have been, all the things that the possibilities that happened, you are here now, you know? So make do with who you are now and try and be a better person tomorrow. And that's the only thing you can really ask yourself or ask of yourself.
I felt my heartbeat in my jaw.
Like, I have doo doo brain. I can't think.
Yeah. No, I was, yeah, being mindful of the plants and the feelings, and yeah, I was feeling my juju, juju, juju.
Yeah, I guess
Sorry.
not every mindful minute has to be you thinking. It could just be you being.
Yeah, being, feeling, seeing, hearing, smelling, thinking, not thinking. Hmm.
Not thinking? Oh, perfect.
Hum.
Mm.
See, you weren't thinking about nothing until it was done.
Whoa. That was
Then you're
crazy.
thinking about me. No, but yeah, so this is a little bit of our podcast, Two Mindful Guys. We'll be talking about different topics every single week, getting to know us a little bit more. Our whole goal is to add as much value to this world as possible while continuing to learn. And this is a way for us to connect across the country.
Yeah, and we're very thankful that you've tuned in to listen to us. Even if it was just a dog on us, we appreciate that. I mean, we love you. Thank you.
Yeah. Peace.
Peace. Be safe. Good night and good morrow.